Hey everyone, Derrick here with day 3 of my Pokemon Go journal, and boy do I have to stop doing these so late, but that's just the way it's been ending up for me lately, where I'm super busy during the day with one thing or the other, and I just don't find the time to play Pokemon Go until later at night. And yeah, so I tried to go out early today to go to that Poké stop place that I was talking about before in the next town over in order to sort of build up my Pokeballs and whatnot, but I just wasn't able to make up the time for it. So basically what I ended up doing is once I completed my Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door live stream, I went to my friend's place, which is in another town very close by, and was just hanging out with them finally. I was a little late for their party because they were doing sort of like it was a 4th of July party, just not on the 4th of July because not everybody could make it at that time. I was very curious what kind of situation their town would have, and where he lived was very sparse as far as Pokestops, but within an easy 4 or 5 block walk, all of a sudden it was Pokestop Central. Still not as much as the other place I wanted to go, but enough that there was a ton of places. And the other thing that got me really excited was that I saw 3 gyms all in a row that were on Team Blue, and I'm like, sweet. Once I finish up at the party, I'm gonna go off that way and put 3 Pokemon in those gyms so I can make some quick cash. And because I'm still struggling to make money, because here's the thing. Pokemon gyms are vicious. It is so hard to keep and maintain them, especially I'm finding because I'm on Team Blue. It's so hard to find a consistent, good Team Blue player, and I've only been able to really maintain one. I popped on another as I was heading home from another way, because basically what happened is as I was waiting there, I saw somebody from Team Red systematically go from one spot to the next and take everything over. It's frustrating because when I went there, I decided, okay, I took a look at the Pokemon. I'm like, okay, I think I can take this one. I'm going to try to take this gym, make it my own, get it back to Team Blue. And I was doing it. I took out his first Pokemon. I got to the second Pokemon that was a little lower, and I basically had him beaten. And then the common glitch that I've heard a lot of people complain about happened to me, where basically the Pokemon you're fighting is on their last legs, and all they need is that one last hit, but for whatever reason, it glitches out and you can't take it over. And it sucks. And the thing is, I encountered this before, but it basically glitched out so that it just never ended. No, what happened is I couldn't kill them, but they killed me. So all the Pokemon I sent out, of course, just got wrecked, and I couldn't take the gym, which was just frustrating. So that's the funny thing, is that's the only place I'm really seeing these server issues anymore, because I didn't really come across many today. I mean, granted, I played at a limited spot and I played late at night, which is where it's typically a little bit better, but I still had an easier time. And man, it was frustrating because I really want to take these gyms and I want to make this extra money, but I just haven't been able to, and it's rough. So as far as gym battling goes, I didn't do too great tonight, but I was able to stop at quite a few Pokestops, and that's where the real fun came in, because what I decided to do was most people had left. It was just me and 2 other friends, and neither of them are really into Pokemon, but they've been hearing all about Pokemon Go, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's go. Let's take a walk and go to these Pokestops. I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I captured a Beedrill while I was at the party, and these 2 guys, they joined me, and we're just talking and whatnot, and just traveling from Pokestop to Pokestop with me sort of navigating in order to take advantage of it. And I'd show them when a Pokemon would pop up and catch it. Most of them are old ones, but then I saw on the radar a Vulpix, and unfortunately it disappeared very quickly, but I know there's a Vulpix somewhere in that area, which makes me very hopeful because I really would like a Vulpix. So, but didn't really catch anything there, but we just made it from Pokestop to Pokestop. And the funny thing is that this area is kind of also the bar area. There's a lot of different bars or pubs or whatever around. There were so many people walking around with their phones out playing Pokemon Go. And it was just funny because you'd see groups of like 3 or 4 people walking along, all of them having Go out and catching them all. And the funny thing is, I talked to a few of them because we, met up at certain Pokestops and especially gyms where they were just opposite teams. I'm like, man, I have no chance. Even if I take this, they're just going to beat it back, take it back immediately, which is also why I became a little discouraged with taking gyms. I'm continuing my focus on getting my Pokemon CP up to a decent level so I can actually stand a chance. And it's rough to be able to do that, because I've heard some very high CP Pokemon, so it's already competitive out there. It's gonna get even more competitive. But the cool thing is we were walking past a porch where two people were sitting out, and I just happened to have my phone out at the time trying to catch a Pokemon, and the woman there immediately recognizes Pokemon Go, and it's like we just struck up a conversation where her boyfriend was just not into it, just not having any of it, and was talking to my friends how they were sort of exploring it but not really. They found it interesting but not something they would really get into. But the girl, she was completely into it along with her daughter. And the funny thing is that she told me she was not a Pokemon player. She never got into Pokemon, but she heard so much about it and all the news stories and all this sudden craze about it. She was like, all right, let's check this out, especially because it was covering her Facebook and whatnot. So she decided to check it out. Lo and behold, she got addicted. She's already up to level 6 within like a day and a half. Because, well, she lives in that area, so she has access to a ton of Pokestops and whatnot, and has just been killing it. And it's really cool to see people just embrace this. We had a pretty long conversation, just talked about how it built up, and we talked about how the fact that if we were just walking normally, we wouldn't have said a word to each other. We'd have just walked by and minded our own business and that whole thing. But there's already this sense of community because you can spot other Pokemon Go players, and most people are friendly, so you're able to talk to one another and get this real sense together. It's wonderful. I just had a good time and eventually left and talked to a few people. Yeah, we're on different teams and whatnot, but we're still enjoying each other's company and offering up tips to where we can find Pokemon, which led me to actually find a Lickitung and a Bulbasaur. Both two really great catches. Only found one, of course, but I'm filling out the Pokédex and have made some pretty decent progress. At least I feel like it. I'm almost actually a third complete with the Pokédex. Feeling really happy about that. I'm at 39 total so far, which is just so cool that I found this much variety. And there's still some out there that I haven't, I've spotted a Mankey that I haven't caught yet. There's the Vulpix that I haven't caught yet. Stuff like that. And I'm still able to evolve Pokemon, because one of the things I've gotten in the habit of doing is that once I finish up for the night, get back home, I take inventory of all my Pokemon and see how many each type has as far as Poké candies, or their candies, and seeing if I could evolve them. And I try to use my Stardust to pick one and okay, this is the one I'm going to strengthen before I evolve. And then in this case, I decided to strengthen my Nidoran female before I evolved it into Nidorina, because I had gotten enough Pokemon candies. I was so happy that I got Nidorina, of course, nicknamed it Betty for my Pokemon Yellow Nuzlocke fans, so that's pretty cool to have. And I also evolved one of my other Eevees. I did so, and dang it, I got another. It's awesome. I got another Vaporeon, but man, I was hoping for a Flareon or something, because the one that I evolved the first time had a Swift as its special attack, and I thought that because this other Eevee I had Dig, it might evolve into something else, but no, it evolved into Vaporeon again. So still working towards Flareon and Jolteon. It's cool that I got Vaporeon, but I really want to complete all the other Eevees. And as I was thinking about Nuzlocks, I'd love to find a Farfetch'd. So much so. So, it was really cool. I did find a gem on the way home that I could pop down a Pokemon in there and get a little extra coins. So we'll see if that holds true or not. Probably the funniest thing is, as we were walking back to my car in their house, I found there was a car just that pulled over all of a sudden over to the side of the road near a Pokéstop. And I just kind of glanced over in the car itself, and there, sure enough, there was the driver pulled over to do the Pokestop and catch a Pokemon. And the really funny thing is they were from Texas. I'm from Pennsylvania, so yeah, it's kind of funny how that all just works. And I think, you know, that's the thing, is that the reason my friends decided to come with me is that they don't follow gaming news that much at all. They're not really that big of gamers, yet the Pokemon Go fever has hit such a major point that even they were interested. And I'm not sure if they'll actually check it out themselves, but it's still interesting to see it progress that far. And I'm still having a good time. I'm actually going to be meeting up with family tomorrow, so I'm going to another nearby town. So we'll see what kind of Pokemon I catch during that whole thing. And yeah, we'll just keep filling it out, because I think one of my major goals is to fill out as much of the Pokédex as I can. And, you know, I'd love to. I'm almost at a third. I'm at 39 total. I'll pop up what all the Pokemon I've caught so far or evolved at this point for you guys in the video. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Nothing too major to report on. I'll keep an eye out. I really want to find more Squirtles so I can eventually start getting their lines, but it looks like Bulbasaur is the most common starter in my area, so go figure. But yeah, with all that said, thank you guys for watching once more, and of course, stay tuned to Game Explained for more of these Pokemon Go journals and other information on Pokemon in general. With all that said, catch you guys later. Bye.